What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Mary-Elizabeth.
In today's video, we are talking about the Roe versus Wade leak, but more importantly, get the leak stuff out of the way. Is Roe versus Wade about to be overturned? This is big news. This is gigantic, massive news. And we're also going to be talking about, as you saw in the thumbnail, we got a whole slew of late night hosts, politicians, you can imagine, even some Christian influencers that I may bring up. I didn't tell you guys that, but maybe we will.
All right.
But yeah, a slew of just the late night, the TV hosts jumping on, ready to defend abortion rights, ready to go there. I thought these were family-friendly late night hosts. I thought James Corden was a family-friendly guy, but no, he is weighing in big time. So we're talking about all this, and we're going to give our perspective. It's how could we not talk about what's going on right now, what's been going on this week? This is huge.
Truly. Everyone is talking about it, so we figured we'd jump in on this. Obviously, it's an intense topic.
Yeah.
We want to come across and make it very clear that we're coming at you as the common folk of YouTube.
Speak for yourself.
Of the world.
Speak for yourself. Mary-Elizabeth and I are anything but common.
Yes.
And so are you.
Right. Okay. Well, you guys get what I'm saying. We are not on here as these people who know all the stats and all the science and all the things, but we're just sharing our thoughts. You guys can take it if you want or leave it, whatever. But no matter what, you should subscribe to this channel. So subscribe.
Why should they subscribe, Mary-Elizabeth?
Can you remember why?
I think because I found you. That's how I subscribed.
Because we make videos on culture, social issues, and the church
There it
from a
was.
Christian
Mary.
perspective.
Oh, I thought you were asking why I actually subscribed.
No. Wait, we know you know the catchphrases.
do.
Wait, finish that.
To help you
Sorry.
have hope.
And be free.
There we go.
We
See, I
knew
know.
you knew it.
And guys, many of you are familiar with Mary-Elizabeth because she's very active on the channel. She's a patron, and she just happened to be coming through town.
Yeah. On our family trip. And then we just asked if we could meet up. And
We had
You guys are
lunch
free?
with them, and then we said, come on, be in the
yeah.
video.
I was like, okay, so here I am.
It was the perfect situation.
Yeah.
She is someone that is passionate about the abortion topic. And so, yeah, I was like, come on, jump right in.
Yeah.
You excited, Mary-Elizabeth?
I am.
You feeling good?
Yep. This
Good.
is the one topic I feel good about.
Yeah, because
Talk about it.
Yeah.
honestly, like, we met up for lunch, and then it was like, let's just do a video. Hasn't been a lot of prep. That's okay. Sometimes the organic, small amounts of prep conversations are the most raw
What's
and
real?
honest.
Mhm.
Yep.
Love it. Well, guys, I think without any further ado, we start with the first video. Honestly, there was so many videos that I could have played. Just to name a few, we had James Corden, who I just saw one of you guys in the live chat saying, I love James Corden, not James Corden, and so forth. Well, yes, James Corden.
Yes, James.
Yeah,
Corden.
it's funny to me, at least from my observations, I don't know how much you guys like keep up with
Mhm.
celebrity culture and these like late night hosts, but it seems like ever since Donald Trump, they have just gotten much more political.
Mhm. I mean, I didn't follow. Trump was my first voting one, so
Experience.
it's voting experience. So that's when I first started like paying attention to politics. So I don't know what to compare it to, but
I for me personally, it's like, wow, these guys are just suddenly like becoming less about late night entertainment. I mean, maybe they still obviously do that, but it's like we are now about to really jump into the political culture war.
Mhm.
And then no surprise here, they are getting very involved in this
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
So as you guys probably have seen, it was leaked out that there is, and it has not been finalized, but the Supreme Court, the document saying, hey, we are kind of there's at least been enough agreement from the Supreme Court that we're ready to look at overturning Roe versus Wade. It was, I mean, I don't know if I've seen news this big
Mhm.
in my lifetime.
Yeah, it is going to alter America for better or worse.
I know. Yeah.
And just from your all's like experience,
Mhm.
what has the reaction been over in St. Louis area, and just what have you been seeing?
Well, it's very interesting. Well, first of all, we were still out of town when we heard the news, and so I haven't been back to our area since then. But it's very interesting. We live on the Illinois side, right across from St. Louis, I was telling them earlier how
Just do this. Keep talking.
how Illinois is very, very pro-abortion, and Missouri is basically like anti-abortion. I think like every clinic is pretty much closed.
Okay.
So
That's pretty much the same how it is in Kentucky now. I think every clinic maybe one, but overall we're pretty pro-life here.
Yeah, so that's very interesting because we technically live in a super, super liberal state, but it's just very interesting. I can't say how this news has been reacted over there because I haven't been back yet since then.
That's true. You've been on the road since the leak.
Yeah.
So. Well, why don't we just go ahead and play? We'll play both of these clips. Like I said, I just pulled 2 clips. There could have been a number that I pulled from. Let's start off with really either one, Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan is manning the camera, manning the whatever you call that.
Videos.
You and I were talking before. We're not surprised. We saw this coming. My worry is that this is just the beginning. Next, they'll go after gay marriage and maybe the board, what is it, Brown versus Board of Education? Yeah. They already eroded our voting rights a little bit. Yeah. So I see fascism down the line here. I don't know.
I'm just trying to terrify you all with all the horrible things that will happen now that this one thing is going to happen, possibly.
Joy Behar. Joy Behar?
I thought it was Behar.
Behar.
I don't know her.
No surprise that Joy is where she stands there. It is interesting, and I've heard this argument now a couple times of, look what they just did. They're potentially overturning Roe versus Wade. Get ready for so many of the freedoms to be stripped away. And I mean, I saw Trevor Noah. We're not going to play a clip from Trevor Noah, but he was saying it's going to be like the Taliban in these states.
Women will have the same rights in these states as they would in Afghanistan under the Taliban, which is absolutely ridiculous and just so to me it's just like oh, what's the word? Insensitive to compare American women's rights to women in Afghanistan. Yeah. Like, it's so insensitive to women in Afghanistan to say something like that.
If it is going to be the same, if it's going to be the same here as there for women, are we going to see women, it sounds stupid saying, but like, are we going to see some women migrate over to Afghanistan and the Taliban?
So good. Yeah. Since it's the same. Yeah. One and the
same. So we should see kind of a nice fluid. Our women are heading over there in states like Texas that hate Texas so much. I doubt that's going to happen. No. Yeah, Joy Behar, it's no surprise. But to me, it's a little surprising to see late night hosts like, not Trevor Noah. Trevor's pretty political. But James Corden?
Yeah.
Do you want to play the James Corden clip?
Yep.
And make no mistake, this is the biggest rollback of human rights in modern US history. And we know what a reversal of reproductive rights looks like because your parents and grandparents, they lived it already. When abortion is illegal, it doesn't stop abortions, it still happens.
Doesn't stop abortions, it still happens. He goes on, this was kind of the end of that clip.
It still happens. It just has incredibly devastating consequences for mothers and their families. And of course,
So stopping abortions has incredibly devastating consequences for mothers and their families. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's really a strange way to say it. Like, I've heard plenty of people say, well, if you make abortion illegal, it's not going to stop. And I guess maybe he's saying, like, it'll just become more dangerous for women who want abortions because they'll have to do it in alleyways and in dark, grimy places. And I'm like, well, actually, they could just move to another state that allows it. That's California, and have a abortion if that's what you want to do. But yeah, this idea that if Roe versus Wade gets overturned, that like our reproductive rights are being taken away, human rights, I think James Corden mentioned, are going to be taken away. It's like, what in the world? We're literally talking about human lives, and that's the problem, is people aren't seeing it as a human life. And it's, you guys know, it's sad. It's
what about the human babies? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's fascinating that right now, like if you just went and looked at mainstream media and just the riots happening now on the Capitol steps, the protests that are getting nasty, they so much are convinced or portray that that we are just despicable, that we are awful human beings. But it's like, pull back for a second. What are we doing?
Right.
We're
It's
saying
so twisted.
we are the side literally of life, and we're evil.
Just asking, please don't kill the babies. That's all we're asking.
But how evil and disgusting of us to do that. We live in a world that is run by a dark prince of
Prince of the powers of the air.
Yeah, that.
Prince of this world.
Yes, the devil. But no, seriously, like, it's just, you see darkness when someone literally is coming out saying you're evil for standing up for a baby's life. Like, it's so twisted, and it's so crazy to me that, like, they can't see that, how goofy and absurd and dark that is to say that we're evil because we're trying to save babies' lives. It's just, I don't know, you guys. It's very confusing to me.
Well, kind of like right before we went live, my brain is all over the place, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe we could have gone from this angle in the title and thumbnail. But one thing that I thought, it was like, it would have been interesting to make this video more about like Christians or self-proclaiming Christians. I've been posting about this on Instagram and getting a ton of feedback and pushback from Christians who are alarmed by the fact that Roe versus Wade could be overturned. Like, thoughts on Christians, pastors that are very much pro-choice. What do you guys? I mean, what's going on there? What am I missing? I don't think I'm missing too much, but what is happening?
I mean, I don't see how they could call themselves pastors or Christians at that point. I don't. That's like there's no gray area with abortion. I don't think, like, there's some issues I could see. Okay, they're getting too social justice-y, but you're literally talking about killing a baby and saying it's okay. The church should be the one safe place for that. So.
Someone tweet that, please. The church, seriously, we're talking about saving a baby. The church should be the one safe place for that, and yet it clearly is not. And that's when I hear people saying like, oh, don't judge, don't make Christians, don't be judging, just grace and acceptance for all. And it's like, okay, no, I am going to cast a judgment. Jesus said, stop judging on mere appearances and make a right judgment. The Apostle Paul said, how much more are we not supposed to judge those inside the church? And these people that we're seeing inside the church, the pastors, the worship leaders, the reverends, the Reverend Warnocks that are coming on TikTok, whatever his name is, the preacher TikTok guy that's super progressive. And they're not just being quiet on the subject, which
is bad too.
They're super passionate about all the social justice issues, but then they're silent on abortion. They're not just being silent. Like, these people are actively saying why they are pro women being able to kill their baby.
Yeah, and it's sad because they come at it of, I'm for the woman, we need to be taking care of the woman, and there's not going to be equality, or women aren't truly going to be taken care of if we lose this, if this is overturned. And it's like, why are you so focused? Why does only the woman count? Why does this baby not matter? And I think that is just something that we have become so desensitized. And like, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about this, and just like the shows that are out there, the movies, the podcasts, the books that America reads and watches. And there's so much violence, there's so much death, there's so much gore and blood and murder and crime, that we've become very desensitized to those types of things. And so, like, to think about abortion and to really truly think about what it is and what is happening, it's like hard, I feel like, for Americans to really understand this is a horrendous, murderous thing that is going on. 60 million lives lost to this, but they can't see that because they've been so desensitized to how awful this is. And that's just really a tragic thing, and just shows as to what we were talking about in our last live, like, why we need to be careful about what we're watching, listening to, reading, because it can desensitize us to like the realities of true graphic, awful violence. And that's what abortion is. And the fact that people refuse to accept that or acknowledge that is disturbing.
It's no new sin. It's the same sin in the Bible. Child sacrifice. It's just hidden.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. There's no new thing under the sun. It's always going to go that direction unless Christians are fighting for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, it is fascinating. And, you know, like kind of Morgan was saying at the beginning, there are, with any topic, there are so many different layers to it. And so you have these pro-choice Christians, if you will, or just these late night hosts or people getting on my Instagram and passionately pushing back on my stuff. There are some people that are very articulate and are very good debaters, and they kind of have those, like, maybe the talking points that really push on Christians, push back on Christians. I don't, and I'm not saying I know I'm not the most articulate. She might be in the upper echelons of articulateness, but at the same time, it's like, I don't need to look any further. You're ending the life of a preborn baby. And then you hear, obviously, that some of the late night people, or maybe it was Whoopi Goldberg or one of the other ones, that they love to say, we are standing for the rights of the mother and what the mother can do with her body. And that's actually where James Corden, he started out this. He was like, this is attack on women's bodies. Like, this is the party of science.
Yeah.
This is the party of science.
It's interesting too because, oh no, I lost my train of thought. It just was there and ping, gone.
Yeah, I get it. It's
no.
But so anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, while you're thinking of that, it's like I don't need to have this great articulate debating where I can come at it from all different sides. It's a baby that's being killed. There's
no good argument for abortion. I've never heard, if someone has one, go ahead and try, but I haven't heard any that stands up. Yeah. It's like, okay, when is it a life? Tell me when it's a life. Okay, when is it not? There's no clear line other than conception. So if you can think, so you don't need to be in order to say, to argue that. Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, at 6 weeks going in to get an ultrasound for our baby, and, like, we saw his heartbeat pumping clearly, so
6
clearly.
weeks. 6 weeks. And people were just infuriated about the heartbeat bill, the 6-week abortion ban in Texas.
Yeah. But some women can go in at 4 weeks and see that heart pumping as strong as we did at 6 weeks. And it's just like, this is a living creature growing. And it's, how are we okay with murdering it? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I understand that there is like, I had someone message me yesterday about just her own personal experience with getting an abortion. And she said that she was very sick mentally, and was just not going to be able to carry this baby safely. Like, I understand that there are going to be circumstances where it's not going to be easy to carry a child, but why does that all of a sudden mean murder? Why does a hardship for you equal death for a baby? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't equal out ever.
Nope. Never makes sense.
Yeah.
Or like what we were talking about earlier, how it's a baby when you want it to be a baby. Like you were saying, Rihanna.
Yeah, just like when, I don't know if you guys, Rihanna announced that she was pregnant or came out into public and she had a big baby belly, and literally all of pop culture was flipping out. Rihanna with her first baby, pregnant with her first baby, baby. It's a baby. Yeah. They're calling it a baby. Why? Just because she decided she wanted to have a baby? It doesn't make any sense, and it's so just like hypocritical to decide, Squish, get down, to get to decide when it's a baby and when it's not. That's not science. That's you just deciding, okay, because you want it, it's a baby. Oh, Rihanna doesn't want the baby?
They're celebrating the abortion then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
good for her making that choice and deciding what's best for her.
body.
Good for her. Yeah, it's messed up.
Just on a post that I made on my Instagram, I just shared some thoughts on it. Someone commented and said, "You don't care about people when they're here, so why do you care about the unborn?" And you hear that all the time. And to me, I'm just kind of like, do you like the amount that I care about people when they're here? You don't live with me. You don't know how I'm spending my days, my hours. But nevertheless, like I just wrote back and I said, so you use this assumption to justify killing an innocent baby in the womb. You don't care enough about them. Like, you're the moral standard for how much I have to care about someone. So you're using the assumption that you know that I don't care about human beings outside of the womb, kids outside of the womb, to justify killing babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions. One of like the most common things I feel like people try to argue with Christians is you're just pro baby or you're pro birth, you're not pro baby, pro mother. Right. And like to me that like couldn't be, that is the furthest thing from the truth. I don't know why people think that they can say that when statistically Christians are the most out of anyone in America specifically who adopt babies, who do foster care. There are so many pregnancy resource crisis centers that are run by Christians who are pouring into mothers, giving out as much free things as they possibly can, doing free ultrasounds, all this stuff for mothers, for babies, and then after the baby's born, having childcare, free childcare, things like that. Like, these exist all over America. I was a volunteer at one when I was 16 years old, and it was incredible. And so, I don't know, it's just like you said, there's no good argument. Yeah. There really isn't. If you break them all down, it's like you can come back with truth and science.
And even if they were going to be, which is sad, but being in a foster home or adoption home, is that worse than killing them? Should you still kill them? Like, is that the better thing to do? Yeah. That's never. Yeah. Doesn't make sense at all. Yeah. It's a terrible argument.
Yeah. Who was it that said, Ronald Reagan said that I noticed that everyone who is pro-abortion has already been born.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to say. But.
There was a girl like holding a sign at a pro-abortion rally or something, protest or whatever, and she said on the sign, she said, "I wish my mom had aborted me." And I'm just like, how sad do you, like, how sad, first of all, just that you, if you really wish that, but secondly, like, that person needs help. They're not a stable person. They're not mentally okay.
I mean, ultimately, you're saying, like, if you really mean that, you're saying, "I wish I was dead." Right. So I would hope that they'd be sending people to her side saying, "Hey, checking in on her, like they're such big advocates of, as they should be when someone maybe is struggling." Like, but no, they're probably, that's a. I don't know. That is beyond like my even comprehension. When you're literally out at a protest holding a sign saying, "I wish I had been aborted." I don't know.
You might as well just hold a sign saying, "I wish I was dead."
Yeah.
Like,
same thing.
It's just what? That's so dark. That's so dark.
Yeah. Someone commented and said, this was in response to my post. They said, "Pro-life, but only if they're straight, white, and Christian, right, Paul?"
What'd you say back, babe?
I got a little sassy.
I remember you saying that.
Tell us what'd you say.
I mean, I just wrote that.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it out loud.
I saw it already.
Yeah, I mean, I posted it. I just said, no.
He said, "Even the non-binary, liberal, atheist babies deserve life."
And I stand by that 1,000%.
Yes, of course.
Man alive, dude.
My goodness.
What? All right, just to kind of, what would you guys say to people who are just like, it's so crazy the amount of pushback, like say a Christian that maybe just, I don't know, works in some type of secular environment, they're probably thinking to themselves, like, if I post about this, I'm just going to get swarmed. I've seen it. Like, you see it on, my sister posted something recently on her Facebook, and people that went to her Christian high school were getting on and pushing back on her. So it is kind of like, I just don't know if I want to go there. For maybe Christians watching right now, they're like, yeah, I'm pro-life, but I just don't know, like, you guys have any thoughts on encouraging them?
You go first, I think.
Well, I was talking to Paul about this earlier, and this has been something that runs through my mind when anything big in the world happens. It's like, because of social media, you're automatically you're kind of forced to have an opinion on literally everything. When 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you were not forced to have an opinion on everything. You weren't like going to be held accountable if you didn't post a black square on your social media account, because that's not how the world worked. And I feel like just because social media demands you to have an opinion does not mean that you need to have an opinion. Rather, like, focus on being a light to the people in your workplace, in your family, however, your actual true circle of people, and just asking the Lord, asking Holy Spirit for guidance in how to go about that. And it doesn't always mean that you have to have all of the facts and know everything about everything. It's like, you could just ask a simple question of like, hey, when does life begin? Like, these simple questions that get people thinking, that plant a seed, that send them off to do some research. I don't know. If there's pressure on you to have all the facts, know all the stats, all that stuff, like, just remove that from yourself. And obviously, if it's something you feel very passionate about and you want to know more, know more, do more research, do that for yourself. But don't let the pressure of the world and social media make you feel like you have to be this brilliant person on everything that's going on in the world, because that's so draining and so exhausting.
You stole my line. But I was going to say the same thing, that of course, being on social media, you're not obligated to post anything or post your opinion about anything. But I do think you shouldn't, you should just listen to the Holy Spirit to see what He would want you to post, and especially on these very, very clear things. You don't have to have an opinion on every political thing, but especially if you're confronted with it, for sure. You just be clear about it. It's not that complicated. Just say, oh, you don't need to write a whole long speech. Say, yeah, I'm for life. And if people argue, to say, you don't have to even respond. It's just like, it shouldn't be this complicated. The people who are trying to have abortion legal are making it complicated. It's a pretty simple thing that's going on. Killing of babies.
And I think we just kind of need to get more used to, especially if it's on your heart, like, get more used to just getting criticism. Yeah. I mean, was it Apostle Paul that said, like, I count it joy to suffer for Christ, to suffer as Christ did. Joy in his suffering so that we may attain to the resurrection of the dead. Like, this is a big deal, and it's actually, like, it's a badge of honor. Not to say we're jerks about it. We're not. None of us have been jerks in this video, but we are taking stands. Like, if we can't take a stand for this, there are plenty of things that, yes, like, you maybe should look at taking a stand for. Right. You should seek God's heart on it. Seek what the Word says about all these different issues. But saving that innocent, like the innocent life that cannot protect themselves, that are just the beauty. God fastened this baby in the womb. Before you were even in the womb, I knew you. I knitted you together in my mother's womb. John the Baptist, it said he leapt for joy when Jesus was, Jesus was coming in.
When Mary walked into the room.
Thank you. John the Baptist in his mother's womb leapt at the presence of Mary. It's a beautiful thing.
Mary and Elizabeth. I was named after that.
Well, get out of town.
Yep.
Get out of town.
This little boy be jumping for joy all the time. He must be filled with the Spirit already.
He sure is.
Wow. All right, guys, we want to get to Q&A on the live chat, but comment below, those of you who are watching the playback, let us know, like, yes, we came down on this pretty stinking hard on one side. You're not going to get us to budge from that. Like, you're not. This isn't going to be something that we, like, tiptoe around and say, but if because, I hear this. Like, don't get me even started on this, but you hear maybe, like, the Catholics. I heard on The View, my favorite, not Sonny Houston, And I love you, I do, but like I'm so sad to see the way that you're living, the way that you're thinking, and what you're coming out of your mouth, and then you're claiming to be, a Catholic. She says, I am a Catholic, so we do believe that life starts at conception, but I am so disappointed in this bill that was written to potentially overturn Roe versus Wade, and I do not want to push my beliefs on someone. So you'd say that about slavery? You don't want to push your beliefs on someone. Just if you want to own slaves, go ahead. It goes against my religion.
Right.
But if you want to own slaves, you go ahead and own slaves. I'm not going to push my beliefs on you. If you want to kill a 10-year-old, well, I don't believe that that's good, but you go ahead and kill him because I'm not going to push my religion. But somehow it's okay with you when it comes to babies.
Yeah.
Sonny?
Yes.
Where does the morality begin and where does it end? Like what makes this okay but that not, and this right and that wrong? It's
I think it's cultural desensitization.
exactly. That's what I was saying.
What else? I mean,
Well, there's people getting, this is no new thing either, but just people getting so self-focused, so spoiled and self-focused, especially in America.
that's the society we live in. That is huge.
If it's an inconvenience, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, get rid of it.
What do you
Just make you happy.
Yeah. What do you see on TV coming constantly?
Yeah.
That it's about us. It's, literally, I saw a commercial a while back that said "worship yourself." It was some type of like deodorant commercial or something, and the tagline was "worship yourself." Like that is the culture that is saturating. Like if you're a Christian, but you're just like eating up constantly secular, cultural, mainstream entertainment, you're probably going to have to get a slap in the face to wake you up. If you go through public school and you're just coasting along, you just need to be aware you are getting saturated, indoctrinated, going up through secular college. That's why the Bible says to be in the world, but not of the world. To do not be conformed to the patterns of this world. If you're, the pro-choice Christians, I would say at least you've been conformed to the patterns of this world.
Yeah, and we're so afraid to get pushback these days as believers. Like, we don't know what true persecution looks like.
Right.
And if you, for 1 second, feel like you're going to get pushback, people just begin to cave and just go with the wave, the flow of America or the louder voices, whatever. And sadly, we're seeing so many Christians cave to that and being too afraid to speak out because they know they're going to get pushed back. And, we just need to love, grace, grace, grace. And we just lost the righteousness of who God is and the righteousness that we're called to walk in. And it's very alarming. So wake the heck up, Christians.
Amen.
Wake the hell up.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't gonna go there, but
For this video, it deserves it.
there we go.
You guys, comment below though. Leave your thoughts. I know that there's gonna be a lot of passion in the comments. Again, please, feel free to do so. Let us know where you're at, but don't be a troll. Don't be a jerk in the comment section. We welcome differing opinions as long as you guys will eventually come to our side.
Oh my goodness.
Just kidding. But seriously, guys, we love you very much. And if you are an atheist, if you're one of those pro-choice Christians and you're just really struggling with this because, it's the battle. Like there's a battle going on in the spiritual realm. It's coming over into the practical realm. If you're struggling, please know that we love you. And if you are still sitting in a different spot, we still love you and we're praying for you. And we prayed before this video and we just genuinely Lord, open the eyes, open our hearts, move in this generation. In Jesus' name. All right, guys, we will see you again very soon. Mary-Elizabeth, we are very grateful. Seriously,
Honored.
we love, one of my favorite things about being a YouTube person is getting to see people that we engage with online face to face.
It's weird.
It's true.
It's so cool. It's weird, but it's cool.
Weird and cool.
A good kind of weird.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Did we look any different when you first saw us at the restaurant immediately?
No, it was like my brother Caleb said, but you guys just look 3D. It's weird to see you in 3D. You look exactly the same and sound exactly the same.
Okay.
But it's just so
So
be
no
real.
because I've seen when we saw some YouTubers a while ago, I was like, they are shorter. He is shorter than he looks on his YouTube channel, but we were pretty
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, we're not deceiving you guys in any way.
They're real.
All right, guys. Well, we will be right back with the live stream. Love you guys. Have hope.
And be
Be
free.
Hey guys, as you may have noticed, we get very few brand deals, which is why our patrons, the names you see here, are so important.
You guys really are the lifeblood of this ministry. We could not do this without you all. If you believe in this content and you want to partner with us on Patreon, click the link below or just go to patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow.